What should you do when you're at your absolute lowest? You feel like there's nothing that you can do. You feel like you don't have any control over what is happening to you, and you don't see any way out of it either. That's what this video is all about. Hi, my name is Stephanie, aka the Sticky Fairy, and I have spent the last 6 years healing from a number of health issues. And during that time, I spent a lot of time on my own. And many years of those years were really, really hard. I don't know how many times I hit rock bottom, and I had to find a way out of there. And so in this video, I want to help you to take control and do the little things that you can do where you are right now to start feeling better. Something that really helped me when I was starting out was to tell myself, I am where I am and it's okay, every single day, many times over and over. It's so easy to get into a panic state of mind, a survival mode where you're just desperate to find a way out, to escape, to do anything that would just take you to some other place. But the fact of the matter is that what you resist persists. And so if you can find any way to make peace with your current situation, everything will feel a little lighter. And if you were to just try on these thoughts, what if I am meant to be here right now? What if this experience that I'm having is actually beneficial to me? Now, I know that I might not see the big picture right now or where this shitty situation is leading me, but there's clearly something that I am meant to experience. And so I am going to do my best to learn how to be in the moment without always wanting to be somewhere else. Because there are a lot of gold nuggets when you are struggling. You don't see it when you're sitting there wanting to escape and looking at everybody else who's thriving and feeling good and doing all the things that you would like to be doing. The problem is that our health is usually the last resort, the one thing that will make us stop. And I was no different. I had tried all the things, and eventually my health was at such a critical point where I didn't even want to leave my house given the state I was in. And that's when the journey began. And that's also when things got really, really interesting. So if you're in a place where you've run out of options, the only option left is to work on your mind. You might not love hearing that, but I think you know that I'm right on some level. The beautiful thing is that as you start working on your mind and as you start changing your mind and as you start peeling off old belief systems and changing your thoughts and feeling gradually better day by day because of that, you also start to take back your control. And when you start doing that, you'll come to see that you get to decide what you experience in this world. You get to make the choices. You get to call the shots. There is nothing in this world. There is not a God that is making you do things or making you have shitty experiences so that you can get your aha moment. No, it's all you. But unfortunately, you have to get to that stage where you don't have any other options than to come to that realization where you understand that it's all you. And that's where you are right now. The question is, how do you feel better in that moment? It starts by being kinder to yourself. I may sound like a broken record if you've watched my other videos, but it really is true. I know what it's like to spend a whole day or a whole week or a whole month or a whole year beating yourself up because you're not healing fast enough, because you're not doing enough things that would help you, because your meditations are shit, because you are not displaying any kind of change in the sense that you would like to. I know what that's like. I did it for a couple of years until something changed. But in that process, you really have a daily choice. You have a choice every single minute because you get to choose what you think about. In this moment, you may not be aware of how much choice you have because the thoughts that you have practiced have so much momentum, they have so much speed behind them given how long you've been thinking them and how much momentum they have picked up along the way. So you feel like there's an avalanche of negative thoughts coming at you, which make you feel really bad. But now in this moment, you always have a choice of thinking, today I'm going to be a bit kinder to myself and I'm going to try and think thoughts that feel better to me. Or you could think, I am so bad at this. I'm not making any progress. My meditations are erratic and I don't even know if I'm meditating. I'm probably doing the wrong thing. I'm never going to heal. Those are two very different choices and they have extremely different outcomes. So if you were to spend a little bit of time every single morning setting yourself up for success by choosing gentler thoughts that are kind, the kind of thoughts and the kind of words that you would use for a friend when you're giving them a pep talk or being nice to them. That's how you should be talking to yourself. And if you do that, you will feel better, 100%. That's why you feel better when you talk to a friend who tells you all of those things. So be that friend to yourself. And then if you deviate and go down that other route, which happens all the time, stop and steer back to where you were going earlier during the day. Now, how do you do that? When you get down that road where things start to feel shitty, how do you get back on track? One way is to meditate. Sit down, do a 10-minute, 5-minute, whatever minute meditation, guided, anything. Listen to some music that you like and just practice clearing your mind. Because every time you do that, you stop the speed of thought and ultimately you stop thought altogether. And when you do that, you naturally feel better and your vibration rises, which makes you feel better. That's just the technicality of it. The other thing that you can do is to learn how the scale of emotion works. Now, if you click down below, you'll find a free guide that I have linked to that you can download and look at. And that will help you tremendously. Because if you understand how important it is to move up the emotional scale, no matter what, in any given way, then you will start to feel gradually better. Let me explain. So the simple version is this. High up on the emotional scale are emotions like enlightenment, peace, joy, fun, enthusiasm. Everything that just makes you excited, that fills you up, that just lights up your eyes, that makes you feel like you can do anything. Those are the emotions high up on the scale. At the bottom of the scale are not the opposites, but emotions that have very low energy. Fear, grief, shame, depression, despair. All those emotions that make you want to stay at home, lie in bed, not do anything, not talk to anyone. I'm guessing that if you're watching this video, that's where you are most of the day. And the reason why you're not getting out of that state of mind is because those emotions have such low energy. And that's not hard to get because low energy means practically no energy. So, what do? You move up the scale. And the way you do this is by understanding that any small improvement is enough. Now, how do you make that happen? By doing anything and everything I've talked to you about in all my previous videos. It really isn't rocket science. Pet your dog, watch comedy, cook a nice meal, read a book that you like, call a friend, call your mom, call your dad. Do anything that makes you feel better. Because if your goal is to feel better, then you have to do something about it. It doesn't help that you sit around on your couch all day hoping that things will get better. When I was healing, I started walking, and I walked for at least an hour, sometimes 2, 3, 4, 5 hours a day, because that was the one thing that made me feel better and that kept me from scratching my skin. I also lay in the bathtub because that's where I was working on building and creating the life that I wanted, and it felt good to me. My skin felt good when I was lying in the bathtub, and it relaxed me in the best way. You have your own ways of doing that. So whatever I recommend will not be perfect for you because you like different things than I do. I drink Earl Grey tea with hot almond milk. You probably think that's disgusting. I don't care. It's still the best drink in the world. But the point is that you have to find what's good for you. That is why you came here, to find your preference, to find what makes your boat float, to find the things that taste the best for you, that feel the best for you, that sound the best to you. Those are the reasons why you came here, and yet you are trying to take somebody else's advice and use that. Your whole journey is about you getting to know you, not getting to know me. You already know me. You've seen me sitting on this couch for so many hours. I have nothing new to tell you. Start getting to know you. But with that said, let's go back to the scale of emotions, because here is the general misconception. First of all, you can do anything to make yourself feel better. You do not have to make yourself feel better about your health if that's the problem right now. Forget about your health. Do you think that I was sitting around thinking about my skin getting better all the time? Some of the time, to be fair, but not all of the time. I learned how to look the other way. That was the only way I could heal and focus on something else that made me feel better. Second thing, when you move up the emotional scale, you will feel gradually better, but it doesn't seem logical to you. And here's why. Let's choose 3 emotions: fear, anger, and worry. Now, all of those emotions are kind of shit. Now, you think that if you're scared of something, or if you're angry about something, or if you're worried about something, they're equally shit. But that's not the case. Because fear, out of all the 3, has the lowest energy. Fear paralyzes you. You won't do a damn thing when you're scared, so you just stay stuck. However, when you move up to anger, anger has a lot more energy than fear, so your energy is mobilized and you are mobilized. And when you are mobilized, you start doing stuff. Even if it comes from a place of hatred or disgust or whatever it is that you are angry at, you're still taking action. So it's better and you're moving up the scale. And then you get to worry. Now, everyone knows that it feels terrible to worry about things, about what's going to happen, what's not going to happen, if you're ever going to heal, if you're ever going to make that money that you've been dreaming about. Not a nice emotion. But according to the emotional scale, worry is significantly higher, has more energy than both fear and anger. So you are now moving up the scale, and the higher you get, the better you feel. If you were to look at that scale and follow it and start identifying what makes you feel slightly better, then you would feel better. And finally, think about what you want. Now you're probably sitting around doing your meditations, trying to think of things that will make you feel better. Good start. That's more than most people do. But if you haven't thought about what you really want, if I were to ask you right in this moment, what do you want, Jessica? Would you really be able to tell me? I'm an entrepreneur and I am asked to give my elevator pitch all the time. I'm asked to tell people in less than a minute what it is that I do, who is it for, and why is it that I do what I do. You may not be an entrepreneur, but you should be able to answer the same question. Why do you do what you do? Where do you want to go? And if you don't have the answers to those questions, start thinking about them. Spend your days dreaming about the things that you want so that you will get clarity around that. And if you don't have clarity yet, don't worry, Rome wasn't built in a day. You don't have to know right in this hot minute. But you will have to know it, because if you trust and believe that your thoughts create your reality, then whatever it is that you're thinking about will come true. And if I were you, I would get really intentional about what that thing is, because you don't want to create by default. You don't want to create shitty stuff and shitty scenarios that you are just thinking about because you're used to doing that. Put the best freaking scenario in your mind and start practicing that. That is what you want to be doing all day. And if you're not doing that, then by all means, keep feeling sorry for yourself. But you will not heal, you will not thrive, and you will not feel joy by doing that. That was some real talk, wasn't it? Not quite what I expected. You may not notice, but half of this video is filmed during another day because something happened to my camera and it didn't want to cooperate. So I had to refilm what I had filmed, but I think this is more suitable. So friend, think about what you want. Watch those thoughts. Be really intentional about what you think about, and use the scale of emotions to identify what you are thinking about, because what you are thinking about will lead to how you feel. And when you don't feel so good, find any reason to feel slightly better. And when you feel slightly better, your mission for the day has been accomplished. Consider it a win and then celebrate. I hope you liked this video. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Share it with a friend who might be in need of some screaming, or let's say eager encouragement by yours truly. And I will be back soon with another video. I'm sending you lots of love, and it will all be okay. Trust me, I know.